Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions regarding this watch. This is a good day at the office. I have literally no boring watches to present you, and this is one of the most exciting of an elite set from MB&F, launched in late 2018 for the 2019 model year. This is the HM9 Flow, and it is the Air variant. There were two different variants, the Road and the Air. This is the Air, and it's a 33-piece limited edition in a combination of cambered sapphires, really multi-curve cambered sapphires, and grade 5 titanium. This is an exciting watch from Max Buser and his friends, and there are some very elite friends. It's a watch that's difficult to describe, but I will show it to you on the wrist so you have a good sense of reference. In titanium, you could see it is 47 millimeters across. End to end, it's 57 millimeters. And then if you measure it from its lowest point to its highest point, which don't coincide on the same part of the case, but it would theoretically be 22.5 millimeters thick. I don't think you need to be scared by some of these measurements. It actually wears quite a bit more compact. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you could see that the pivot centers of the strap are really quite far inboard. They're nowhere near the edge of my wrist. So even if your wrist is 14 centimeters circumference, you're going to find this wears just fine. Despite being an aviation-themed variant of the watch, it is nevertheless a capable driver's watch. When you have your hand on the wheel, the side scroll time display gives you a pretty good idea of what time it is now. And this time display, as well as the nickel anthracite coating on the movement, distinguishing this from the Road version, which features a different dial design and then some rose gold gilding internally. A watch that fits really well, but it's not going to fit underneath the cuff. No way. Not with the height of it and the irregular shape, but it is very, very comfortable. Max learned after the HM2 you must build a watch that's comfortable for a normal-sized wrist to wear. As you can see, the strap is entirely custom. It's fixed by screws and bars, and then it features hollows to allow it to conform to the profile of the case itself. G&F Chatelain provides the buckle with its unique leaf spring design that keeps these things resolutely shut when you don't want them open. And then externally, we've got a buckle that's customized for Max with his double-sided battle axe logo. You can see a combination of polish and media blast. Rolling back to the case, here's the crown. You can see the logo again, and then it's flanked by two free-sprung oscillators beating away at 18,000 vibrations per hour, each with a overcoil hairspring, so it keeps consistent time in any physical position. And then if you look underneath the crystal, get a little bit closer there, you can see that there's a differential that averages out the timing error of these two to supply the time that you see. So it will take the error from the two separate oscillators, average it out for optimization, and then that is what you actually see. Just to be clear, because I know people will ask, yes, it is luminescent, but that is the only part of it that's loomed. The watch features 3D seals, which are no small thing to produce. Historically, a watch this complex, at least a case this complex, would not have had any water resistance, so the fact that this has 30 meters is quite impressive. The design is intended to echo a number of late 40s and early 50s jets. So first and second generation jet aircraft, you can see we've got these intakes, these sort of double nasal profiles. We have the sort of emulation of a jet exhaust on the back. So specifically, some of the aircraft considered in the design were the de Havilland Venom, which was used by the Swiss Air Force for a long time. Also, you could see a little bit of the Gloucester Meteor in here with its twin nasal engine mounts. So this is a watch that's intended to evoke those very early jets. And then we've got a couple of different elements here that add diversity. We have these enormous multi-curve sapphires, which are themselves no walk in the park to create. We have a combination of brushed and polished grade 5 titanium, and then we've got a lot of externally visible hardware. You can see these screws fixing everything together to give it a sort of techno-industrial look. We've got a very instrument-style dial, and if you look carefully, you can see that the hands are anti-glare brushed, which is a nice touch. So this is designed to echo the instrumentation you would have seen on the flight deck of an analog mid-20th century combat aircraft. Now, the movement is an in-house design by MB&F. You can see there is a lot going on. Horological machine number 9, 33 pieces made in titanium for the Air edition. We have black polished screws with chamfered slots in circumference. You can see solarization on some of the other surfaces. The watch features extraordinary high horology finish. You can see that nickel anthracite coating on the structures below the balance bridges, but the balance bridges themselves are completely rounded and mirrored. Treatment you might associate with Debetun and Grubel Forsey. This is true horologerie decoration. Absolutely no punches pulled in that regard. You can see the bridge for one of the wheels leading up to the differential. Absolutely gorgeous, concave and mirrored. There's a lot going on. The balances are free sprung. They're from Edicalpa, which is a Parmigiani family company. All the adjustments done using these variable inertia screws on the rim. A very shock resistant, but also precise adjusting solution. And then you could see the overcoil hairspring, allowing them to keep consistent time in any position. Manual wind, 45-hour power reserve, 52 pivot joules. It is a large form movement. If you were to rip away the carapace or the case of this watch, you would find that the movement really does sort of echo the design of it. It would have the twin booms and then the central section leading up to the dial. So it's very much a hand and glove fit with this manufacturer movement built specifically for its case and vice versa. Other things to note, well, an all-star team helped here. MB&F means Max Busser and friends. And the friends in this case, Eric Giroux for design, and then quite a few superstars, Ruben Martinez, Simon Brett, and Guillaume Thévenin all worked on the movement itself. And that's part of what Max does that's so great. He always gives credit to everyone who is involved, right down to Camille Fournet making the strap and Chatelain making the buckle. You can also see that the strap is a brand new strap, no crimping, no gouging, an MB&F factory piece, and it's actually a rubber inlay on the bottom to protect the leather from the moisture, heat, grit, and sweat of the wrist. It's a wonderful slick gloss, medium brown on the top with a monotone stitch and a folded edge. A fantastic watch that has a ton of character from one of the good characters in our business. Max is a great guy. He is effusive in his praise of other people and generous with credit in an industry where that is sadly rare. So you're not just buying the watch, you're really buying your way into what Max calls his MB&F army, a sort of group of fans and friends who own and love these watches. And if you'd like to make this one yours, it is a full boxed set. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.